I'll be honest with you, dude. I ain't feeling too hot today. You want to take the lead on this one? Go! Oh no, you're terrible. Go! Come on, man! You are a poor excuse for a host. Alright, business as usual. You can do this. Are you ready? Oh, stop. What's up, YouTube? This is your boy John from Project Ellsworth, and I am back with you today to give you my review of the 2018 film, Halloween. Say something. Say anything. Halloween was written by Jeff Fradley, Danny McBride, and David Gordon Green. It was directed by David Gordon Green, starring Judy Greer, Will Patton, Jamie Lee Curtis, and James Jude Courtney and Nick Castle as the Shape. It took two people to play you this time?
We're here to investigate a patient that killed 3 innocent teenagers on a Halloween in 1978. He was shot by his own psychiatrist and taken into custody that night.
Do you know that I pray every night that he would escape?
What the hell did you do that for?
So I can kill him.
Can you close the closet door?
So the story begins with Dana and Aaron. They're two journalists, and they're going to Smiths Grove Sanitarium to pay Michael Myers a visit. They're trying to get answers to questions, or any kind of a rise, or any kind of a reaction out of Michael Myers, because nobody has been able to do so in forever. How long has it been since you actually said anything to anybody? Of course he's not saying anything. He's not giving any kind of a reaction. They give sort of a front view of Michael at one point that looks like he might be kind of clenching his fist a little bit of white knuckling going on. He's not reacting or responding, but everybody else in that place is going a little bit crazy. So being he's not reacting to anything, he figures maybe he'd get a reaction to him if he presented him with his old mask from 1978. So he pulls that mask out of the bag, and once again, Michael has no reaction whatsoever. But everybody else in this place is getting whipped into a froth. Even the dogs are going a little bit nuts.
Figaro! Figaro!
Figaro! Figaro! But he's still got zero reaction out of Michael. Hit the title screen.
Say something!
Being as though they got absolutely nothing out of Michael, these two decide that maybe it would be a good idea to go visit Laurie Strode. Maybe she'll give a little more information about that night back in 1978. They get to her place. It's locked up and sealed up like Fort Knox. They speak to her through a speaker system. They call that thing an intercom, John. They speak to her through an intercom out at the gate. She doesn't want to open the gate. They offer her $3,000 and the gate opens. I'd have talked to him for $3,000. This is where we get officially reintroduced to Laurie Strode. She looks a little older, she looks a little more tattered, but she still looks pretty good. She still has her wits about her. She's gone a little crazy over the last 40 years, but understandably so. They try and get some information out of Laurie. She doesn't really give very much information, very cryptic, creepy answers. Doesn't say a whole lot to these guys at all, to be totally honest with you. She asks them about the boogeyman. Do you believe in the boogeyman? You should believe in the boogeyman. So on and so forth. A lot of boogeyman talk. A whole bunch of that. Then they start to ask her questions about Michael being released, or not being released, being transferred. She says yes, he's going to be transferred tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, maximum security prison, where he's going to spend the rest of his life. They touch on that a little bit, and then they go into a more personal issue with Laurie about her losing her daughter. That's when Laurie pretty much calls it quits, gets up, opens the door, says, "Give me my money," and then get to stepping. You just got to keep standing in the corner. Jump to the next morning. Laurie is outside of Smiths Grove Sanitarium, sitting in her vehicle, holding a gun, watching Michael Myers get on that bus. What do you think the chances are of that bus actually making it to its destination? Not too long after, we see a father and a son driving along in the dark in their truck. They're talking back and forth that the father wants to spend time with the kid. The kid's talking about this is getting in the way of his dance class. What? I'd like to see you dance. But as they're driving along, they slam on their brakes because they're getting ready to run over a whole bunch of inmates. Or are they still considered patients until they actually get to a prison? That doesn't matter, who cares? So Dad jumps out of the truck and approaches these guys to see if he can figure out what's going on. He's going over to the bus, checking on the bus driver, so on and so forth, whatever. Dad gets out of the truck. After a couple minutes, the son makes a phone call to let the authorities know that there's been an accident, that there's people wandering around all over the road. We need help out here. So whoever it is that's on the phone talking to this kid obviously ain't too bright, because they tell the kid to get out of the vehicle and go find his dad. Well, I can't say who is or isn't very bright, but whoever was on the other end of that phone definitely did not know who was on that bus. So this kid approaches everybody and everything that's going on in front of him. He finds a cop beat up and bloody laying on the ground who tells him to run. The kid doesn't run. He goes over to the bus, goes into the bus, gets scared, and shoots somebody with a shotgun. Scared kid with a gun. So now this kid doesn't know what to do and he's scared to death. He runs back and gets in his dad's truck. And who do you think is in that truck? You couldn't leave that kid alone? That kid should have listened to that cop. He should have ran and he should have kept running. You do you, and I'll do me. Deal? So the next morning we see two cops discussing what took place with this bus and with these patients, inmates, patients, what have you, whatever. And Will Patton's character notices one name in particular on this manifest. I think it's a manifest. It's still a manifest if it's a bus and it's not a plane, whatever. He's looking at the document that's got these people's names on it, and he notices one name in particular. Who's missing here? Yup. Oh. It's all right. Don't be ashamed. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Some people just ain't cut out for this. Next, we jump over to our two journalists, Dana and Aaron. They have stopped at a gas station. Dana had to cop a squat, and Aaron goes inside to see if he can get some service. When Aaron goes inside, the place is basically vacant, so he walks in himself, and he sees what appears to be somebody sleeping at a desk. He completely ignores him, but that guy's whole jaw looks like it's been ripped out or dislocated, or somebody paid that dude a visit. Then he walks into the back, and he sees a guy laying face down in a pool of blood in his underwear. So if I were searching for you, the first place I would look is a service station. I don't get it. What about this looks good? Next, we quickly jump over to Dana, who's sitting inside of a stall trying to take care of business. You very quietly hear a door slowly open, and you see a pair of boots from under the stall walk into the bathroom. Now, the boots I like. So whoever that is that just walked into this bathroom walks over to the stall that Dana's in, puts his hand up above the door, and drops something on the floor at Dana's feet. Are those teeth? Clean extraction? So, of course, she starts to immediately flip out. She jumps up, pulls her pants up, and tries to go under the side of the stall to get to the next stall over. As she's doing that, the door on the outside opens, and Aaron walks into the bathroom. Michael Myers turns around and grabs Aaron and beats the holy hell out of him. He grabs him by the back of his jacket and starts smashing his face into the stall doors. It is absolutely one of the most brutally violent scenes in the history of the Halloween franchise, including Rob Zombie's movies. You had a lot pent up after that 40-year stretch, huh? So now he throws Aaron on the ground like a bloody, discarded rag, goes inside the stall, kills Dana, and heads outside to the car to get his mask. So at this point, Michael's got several kills under his belt. He's got his coveralls, he's got his mask, he shook away some of them cobwebs. It's time to head for Laurie. You're good at what you do. I absolutely, positively loved Halloween 2018. There are very few things about this movie that I didn't like, and I can't even say that I didn't like them. I just know how unrealistic they are. At the beginning of this movie, when this journalist presents Michael Myers with that mask, my issue there is, who in the world would have given a podcaster a serial killer's mask, that, you know, a 40-year-old mask from the evidence room or the evidence locker or whatever it is, why would that guy be able to gain access to that mask? That was problem A. Problem B is, why would they let him talk to Michael Myers? And if they did let him talk to Michael Myers, why would they allow him to do that in front of all of those other patients, which is going to do absolutely nothing except for have these guys all start flipping out? Figaro! Figaro! It's all right, dude. Don't worry about it. You're the best sidekick in the game. Like I said, I really don't dislike that part of the movie. I just know that that's probably very unrealistic. And what were the parts of the movie that I did like? Everything else. The story was fantastic. I actually liked the fact that they went back and cut it off at the end of Halloween 1 and eliminated the whole family thing. I think that Michael Myers not being Laurie Strode's brother makes him and this whole story scarier. I embrace Halloween 2 through 8. I love all that stuff. But I think that he is scarier as a character, just wanting to kill this woman. Not because it's his sister, not for any particular reason, other than he wants to kill her. She got away. 40 years later, he still wants to kill her. That's terrifying. I love it. I think that makes this character that much more scary. I am a very big fan that there are no rappers in this movie. I think that that's a really good idea. No more LL, no more Busta Rhymes. Get them guys the hell out of here and stick to a scary Michael Myers Halloween horror movie. I love the fact that Nick Castle is back in this movie portraying Michael Myers. I know he didn't portray him for the vast majority of this movie, but I do think that it's cool he was there. What I do think was fantastic here was James Jude Courtney was phenomenal as Michael Myers in this movie. This Michael Myers is terrifying. He is way up at the top of the list of the scariest Michael Myers in this franchise. The way he moved, his aggression, he was brutally violent in this movie. His look is amazing. This mask looks like the mask from the original movie because it is based on the mask from the original movie. It's not those silly incarnations of Michael Myers masks that you start seeing from 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All that silly crap is out the window, and this mask looks like the Myers mask that everybody out there loves. Jamie Lee Curtis was amazing. Will Patton was amazing. Everybody in here was just fantastic. You know what? I'll take that back. And it's not even that the acting job was bad. Another thing that I wasn't real crazy about was that Sartain character. I wasn't real nuts about him. Laurie refers to him as the new Loomis, and that's exactly what he is. He's like the new evil Loomis. Loomis was always had good intentions. This dude had nothing but bad intentions, and I really did not like that character. Maybe he was a little bit necessary, but I really think that they could have done without that guy. Back to the cast, and with that being said, even that guy's acting job in this movie was fantastic. The whole cast was great. Laurie was great, her daughter was great, her granddaughter was great, her son-in-law was kind of a goofball, but I thought, he pulled that off well. He pulled off being the goofy husband well in this movie. The friends were great. There's a little boy in this movie that was hilarious, and he was great. Everybody was just front to back, top to bottom. The acting job in this movie was outstanding. David Gordon Green, hell of a good job. This movie was great. I know we have 2 more movies coming from that guy, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, and these are basically the brainchild of David Gordon Green and Danny McBride. I know there was another dude who got a writing credit in this movie. What was his name? Pardon me, I don't remember what that guy's name was. Jeff Fradley. I don't know how much he was involved, but he does have a screenplay writing credit for this movie. So if he was involved in writing this, I hope he is involved in the next 2 movies, because this product was absolutely amazing. I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, how often does a movie get the build-up and the hype that Halloween 2018 got? There's not a whole lot of movies that get that, and there are even fewer movies that, in my opinion, live up to that. And I think this movie easily lived up to the hype that it received for the year up to it coming out. When the trailer for this movie dropped, people went crazy. I know I went crazy. There were YouTube videos made left and right because of that trailer, and I think that it was all well worth it. It all paid off. We got a great job with a character we love, with multiple characters we love, and it left us wanting more. And if the world was not in the state that it's in right now, we probably all would have seen Halloween Kills by now. That movie is done and it's ready to go, but everything shut down, so we didn't get it yet. I can't wait to see that movie. I thought that this was one of the more brutally violent movies in the history of this franchise. What do we have? This is the 11th movie in this franchise, and the level of violence in this is way above the vast majority of these movies. And from what I've read, Halloween Kills is said to be the most violent movie in all of this franchise, including Rob Zombie's films. My God, I can't wait to see that movie. I honestly can't say enough good things about this movie, enough great things about this movie. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I think that if you're watching my review of this and you're watching my channel and you're familiar with my content and you're out there in the horror community, you've seen Halloween 2018. But if you haven't, do yourself a favor. After this video, go watch that movie. It is phenomenal. You're the best. I'm not going to replace you. All right, that's my review of Halloween 2018, or my feelings on Halloween 2018. Leave me some comments down below and let me know, how do you feel about this movie? Do you feel as strongly as I do about it? Did you love it as much as I did? Or did you feel different? Please let me know down below. I would love to know what you guys think here. All right, I'm going to get out of here. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video and you've been enjoying my content up to this point, please do me a huge personal favor. Click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a kick-ass day. And thank you for watching. You did a great job here, brother. Awesome. Awesome.